The Virginia governor's race has officially kicked off with early in-person voting starting on Friday, and the spotlight is unmistakably on policies linked to former President Donald Trump. This election is more than just a local contest. It's shaping up as a major indicator of how Trump's political influence might sway voters beyond the presidential level. On one side is Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earle-Sears, and on the other, former Democratic Representative Abigail Spanberger. Both candidates made public appearances on Friday to mark the beginning of the final campaign push ahead of the general election set for November 4th. Recent polls suggest Spanberger might have a slight edge, but the race remains far from decided. Spanberger voted early on Friday morning at a polling location in West Henrico, close to Virginia's capital, Richmond. Speaking afterward to CBS News, she emphasized that her campaign is grounded in addressing the real everyday issues Virginians face. Whether you just noticed your rent rising, ponder buying your first home, or need to pick up medicine for a loved one or yourself, affordability is top of mind for many across the state, she explained. For Spanberger, it's about connecting policy with the tangible economic pressures affecting families. Meanwhile, the Republican camp focused on energizing their base with a rally led by Earle-Sears alongside current Governor Glenn Youngkin and entrepreneur-turned-politician Vivek Ramaswamy, who is running for Ohio governor but made a prominent appearance in Virginia. Earle-Sears frequently touted Governor Youngkin's popular economic policies, framing herself as the candidate who will continue to reduce regulations and promote job growth. There's still plenty to accomplish, she told the crowd, including cutting unnecessary regulations and creating more employment opportunities. Now here's where it gets controversial. The shadow of the Trump administration and its policies loom large over this race. Virginia is one of only 2 states holding a gubernatorial election, the year after a presidential election, the other being New Jersey. This timing often turns such races into a de facto referendum on the sitting president's party and policies. Historically, Virginia voters have tended to choose a governor from the party opposite the sitting president since 1977. Earle-Sears is eager to overturn this pattern, which means embracing Trump's legacy more directly than perhaps her predecessors have. One particularly significant angle involves the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, a Trump-era initiative aimed at dramatically reducing the federal workforce. Given Virginia's massive number of federal civilian employees, approximately 150,000, second only to California, these staffing cuts hit the state hard. Early this year, Virginia lost 7,800 federal jobs and is expected to see a total cut of 9,300 government jobs, federal, state, and local, by the end of 2025, according to estimates from the University of Virginia's Weldon Cooper Center. Spanberger has positioned herself clearly in opposition to Trump, linking her campaign's affordability focus to efforts aimed at reversing what she calls bad policy emanating from Washington. She accuses Earle-Sears of aligning with figures like Ramaswamy, whom Spanberger describes as the architect behind DOGE's aggressive job cuts that have adversely affected thousands of Virginians. Ramaswamy was once co-leader of DOGE alongside Elon Musk, but both eventually distanced themselves, culminating in a public fallout with Trump himself. On the flip side, Earle-Sears praises Trump and his policies. Even though Trump has remained non-committal about officially endorsing her or campaigning for Virginia's Republicans. When asked about the candidates, Trump said he would have to look at some of them, referring to this type of local-level election as semi-local. In response to criticism regarding her ties to Trump and DOGE, Earle-Sears branded Spanberger as a typical divisive politician, doubling down on the record of job creation attributed to her own and Governor Youngkin's leadership. "If Virginians want work, we have work available," she assured supporters. The campaign also sharpens its divisions on immigration policies. Earle-Sears directly criticized Spanberger's promise to roll back some of Governor Youngkin's immigration-related orders, particularly the collaboration between state authorities and federal immigration officials, framing it as a risk to public safety. Now, adding a somber and unsettling dimension to the election's atmosphere. The recent assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk at a college debate in Utah. This tragic event has heightened concerns about political violence nationwide, shaking candidates and campaigns alike. According to sources close to the Earle-Sears campaign, security measures were stepped up during Friday's rally in response to such fears. Spanberger described Kirk's death to CBS News as absolutely horrifying, emphasizing that, regardless of political views, the violent attack on someone engaging in First Amendment expression is an atrocious reality, deserving universal condemnation. Earle-Sears echoed this sentiment, denouncing the attack on Kirk and highlighting the sanctity of free speech, stating in a public message that it was unconscionable for someone to be shot just because he was exercising his First Amendment rights. Behind the scenes, Daniel Gomez, a key political director at CBS News overseeing White House and political coverage, has been monitoring and analyzing the unfolding race, contextualizing its importance on both a state and national level. Ultimately, this Virginia gubernatorial election exposes deep divisions, not only within the state, but across the country. It raises challenging questions. Does tying oneself closely to Trump's legacy help or hurt a candidate in today's political climate? Can either candidate effectively address the direct economic concerns of everyday Virginians amid federal job losses and political turmoil? And crucially, how should political leaders respond to the growing threats of violence against activists and politicians? What are your thoughts? Is aligning with Trump's policies a winning strategy in Virginia's evolving political landscape, or a risky gamble? How should candidates balance passionate political discourse with ensuring safety and respect for differing viewpoints? Share your perspectives below and let the conversation begin.